Have you ever needed to make a last-second decision that was going to have a big impact on your life? I did. My brother and I have been wanting to go on a vacation for quite a while now. We've never really made it happen. We both have wanted to for a long time, but neither of us ever really pulled the trigger. Until one day, the first day of spring break 2011, we made an impulse decision to pack it up and go. Today I'd like to tell you about the preparation, the journey itself, and how this trip changed my life forever. This is the story of how my brother and I decided to take a last-minute road trip down to Arizona for spring break. Now, the first thing I'd like to share with you is the preparation for the trip. I came home Friday morning from college thinking I was just going to have a nice relaxed week off hanging out with the family. However, little did I know, Friday afternoon we were at my grandparents' house for lunch when my brother brought up the idea of going somewhere for spring break. We threw around a few ideas, and once he brought out the idea of taking a road trip down to Arizona to spend some time in the sun and visit our other grandparents, I was hooked. So Friday night we drove up to my father's work so we could work the weekend in order to pay for this trip. We worked all day Friday night, all day and night Saturday, and all morning throughout the day Sunday until we were done working, and then we started to pack. Now usually packing takes a while. We were so excited. We were done packing in 20 or 30 minutes, and we are well on our way. The second thing I'd like to talk about is the road trip itself. Now, the first thing I'd like to discuss about the road trip itself is the weather we encountered on the way. When we left, it was snowing in Minnesota. Once we got into Iowa, we encountered rain and sleet. Kansas, it was sunny. After Kansas, we ran into more rain until finally we hit New Mexico and Arizona, where it was all sun. The next thing I'd like to discuss is driving on two-lane highways. Now that does not sound like fun, but it's even worse when it's 3 in the morning and semis are coming across from you. Scary. The next thing I'd like to discuss is the animals we saw. Now throughout the desert and the New Mexico area, we encountered 3 or 4 mountain lions, which were incredible looking animals. Multiple hawks and eagles soaring above the cliffs. And we even saw a bear on the road, which we had to stop for at a time. The next thing I'd like to discuss is the feeling of sitting in a car for 27 straight hours. It's nothing really exciting, but the memories that we encountered made it a car ride I will never forget. The last thing I'd like to discuss with you is how this trip influenced my life so much. Working for my dad really helped me build money management skills and responsibility. I had no money for this trip prior to working for my father, but after that weekend of working, I had enough money and some left over. Now I'm working full-time for my dad, and it allows me to take trips like this more often. But also, the money management part is now I have a bank account that actually has some money in it, because I'm not just spending it all, because he's teaching me lessons throughout the way. I also learned to welcome the unexpected. We had no idea we were going on this trip, and I came home. Luckily, I brought my swimsuit and some shorts. Otherwise, I would have been going to Arizona in my sweatpants. Because we made a decision to go make this trip on a split second, I learned to welcome the unexpected. I also got to see the entire middle portion of the United States, from Minnesota all the way down to Arizona. We also went through Colorado on the way back because we wanted to drive through the mountains. This gave me great insight of what the rest of the United States has to offer, and I now look forward to taking a road trip to every state in the continental U.S. It really gave me that sense of urgency to go explore. Now this was the story of the time my brother and I made a last-minute decision to take a road trip down to Arizona. It was a week that I will never forget, and I hope that I will be able to make many more road trips throughout my life. The lessons learned throughout the way and the memories made will be forever remembered. I only hope everyone has a chance to make a road trip like this one I experienced with my brother, because I know this was a week I will never forget.